Hey everyone, just a quick heads up that the things you're about to hear in this episode refer to a lot of your favourite TV shows, so from here on in, spoiler alert.
Hey.
Hi!
Welcome to the Non-Binary Show. I'm Mika and I'm non-binary.
I'm Sam and I'm bisexual.
We've been going out for less than a year and we're already getting married.
And that means there's a lot we still don't know about each other.
So each episode we pick a different topic and have an honest conversation.
Today,
representation on TV.
part 1.
Yeah.
But first we have some news.
Like usual. Spill the tea.
I still love Harry Potter.
And a lot of people do.
Yeah. But it is getting more and more difficult for me to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But every time I see her name in a news article or something, I actually get excited because the world's just crumbling down on her and it's so sweet. School drops Harry Potter author and Winston Churchill from house names over their intolerant views. The author of Harry Potter and Winston Churchill have been dropped from the house names of an East Sussex school after students said their intolerant views did not represent them, with the author's recent words about the trans community mentioned in the letter. So kids are now learning that she's a bad person.
Yeah.
And they've also learned that Winston Churchill is not a good person either.
Well, we knew that already, I think.
Did you know?
Yeah, you can look at his face.
As a nation, though, we put him on a pedestal.
Well, you
though.
have his face on the note.
Yeah, he's on the back of our fiver.
Yeah.
There was protest about that, though, because he was anti-Semitic and racist and things as well. So there was a bit of debate about whether he should be the one to replace Elizabeth Fry or whether we should replace Elizabeth Fry at all because there's hardly any women on our money.
Just the Queen.
Just the Queen. And the Queen is only on there because she is the Queen.
She is the Queen, yeah. Like, if there would be a king, there would be no Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they kind of made up for that, though, by putting Jane Austen on the back of the tenner.
Yeah.
But then they kind of put an anti-feminist quote on the back.
Really?
With her.
I didn't know.
So there's this... Have you read Pride and Prejudice?
No.
Okay, so there's a scene with a character called Charlotte, and she's trying to impress Mr. Darcy, and she's like, the kind of like ditzy kind of girl that tries to impress a boy. So she's been like that, and she says, I can't think of the quote now, but the quote is about reading and how much she likes books, but she's trying to impress Mr. Darcy because he does like books. Yeah. So she's being all ditzy. And they put this quote on the back of the tenner next to Jane Austen's picture.
Yeah.
And it just gives off the wrong idea because Charlotte's trying to impress a man.
Yeah.
And Jane Austen was not about that.
Yeah.
So that is on the tenner now.
Yeah, you don't need women thinking that they have some power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the news though. Parents at Seaford Head School received a note, which was marked as being from students, which said the author of Harry Potter would no longer be deemed suitable as she does not represent the school's core values after her trans comments. As a school committed to stopping bullying and creating a safe environment, we no longer think that she is a suitable representative because of her recent words about the trans community. The students wrote this.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Intolerance and discrimination are treated very severely by our school, and we do not want to promote anyone or anything that encourages such prejudice.
Yeah.
Yes. The letter also said the secondary school would drop Churchill as a house name as it believes the former British Prime Minister was a figure who promoted racism. Churchill could be considered an important historical figure. However, we are now more aware that Churchill was a figure who promoted racism and inequality, unfairly imprisoning and torturing many.
Yeah, I think that's a long... everyone knows that question. We can't, erase history, but it doesn't mean we can have someone like that just representing
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Oh, however, not everyone was happy with the changes. One parent, who didn't wish to be named, said, "I'm surprised about Winston Churchill. I think we do need to honour his achievements in history. He helped us fight back the evil of Hitler's Nazi Germany. Surely he deserves to be celebrated for this."
That's what I was saying. Like, yes, he's part of history, and you can't erase the history.
We can't erase the good things he did.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you've done some good things and some bad things, it doesn't make you immediately a good person just because you've done few.
No.
Like, Harry Potter was written, and a lot of kids grew up with it and learned good things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that she's a good person just because of that. Majority of kids don't want that name.
Yeah.
Just let them,
let
let them have it.
I like that the kids are in charge of this, though.
Yeah.
The staff have let the students have their say, and I love that.
Yeah.
A spokeswoman for the Seaford Head said the student leadership group decided to consult on the names of the 4 houses with a view to reintroducing house names that are rooted in the local community. This exercise involves all of the student body.
Yeah. Good.
I like it. Okay, shall we move on to our topic for today then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, history about the presentation on TV.
Yeah, so we've been watching this documentary from Apple TV called Out, visible on TV. And throughout all of it, it does show bits of history and the kind of horrible stereotypical tropes that LGBT plus characters have had to face in TV.
Yeah.
For example, gay men were often seen as posh, like overly posh and flamboyant. They were never given any romantic storylines. And if they were given a romantic storyline, it was often in a comedic way. It was often seen as like they know it's wrong.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. There was a trope around lesbians being murderous.
Yeah.
Like killing off a husband because she was in love with his wife. That kind of stereotype. And another trope that has recently come back, and this is why we don't like the author of Harry Potter, is because the trans trope of someone dressing up as the opposite, quotes opposite, sex, to get revenge on someone.
Yeah, or go to a women's toilet and kill them.
Yeah.
Assault them and stuff, yeah.
Which is what a lot of Karens think trans people are doing.
Yeah.
You go into a public toilet. Like, what if they're going to attack me?
A man could go in with looking like a man still. Can just easily go in and assault if he wants to.
Yeah.
There's no magical like shield which lets in only women or men in the I just no words.
I know.
Just yeah, and it's good to see that more and more representation is showing on TV.
Yes,
but it's still not enough.
So it was coming through slowly in the 80s. Unfortunately, the AIDS epidemic helped that a lot.
Yeah,
because it was unavoidable to see it on the news, to see AIDS awareness and protests in the streets, to see that on your TV.
Yeah.
You couldn't escape it. So that kind of helped TV shows and writers and producers put these kinds of characters on TV in your living room.
Yeah.
So one TV show that I think did this very well was The Golden Girls.
Yes,
I love the Golden Girls. I love the Golden Girls.
Yeah, I've seen Golden Girls just recently.
Yeah,
because you showed me.
I made you watch it with me.
I didn't know they existed, but I absolutely love it as well.
Who's your favorite one? Who's your favorite girl?
I think Dorothy, because
really?
She's very like straightforward and like she doesn't fuck around.
No, I love Blanche.
Blanche is just.
We actually think Blanche towards the end of the show. She was kind of dropping bisexual hints here and there.
Yeah, it was a lot of like I think in these days, if it would be like recreated, I think she would be bi.
Yeah, I think so. Because Oh, but then again, it might be seen as a bit of a negative stereotype on being bisexual because Blanche is a slut.
Well, she's a slut with everyone.
Yeah, but like from people watching that, you don't want to add to that stereotype that bisexuals just want to sleep with everybody.
Yeah.
Because we don't.
Some of you do. Again, a lot of straight people are sluts, like Blanche.
Yeah,
she's straight.
Blanche is straight on the show, and
she's straight on the show, yeah, and she's like changing men like socks. And there's a lot of lesbians who go around girls and like being sluts. There's a lot of men, being gay, just going like sluts. Like there's, and there's a lot of men, straight men, going through women like sluts.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so while we're talking about Blanche and lesbians at the same time, I think we can talk about that episode where Rose gets Blanche and Dorothy to go on this daytime talk show, and she accidentally gets them on as women. She said women who live together, but they're on the show as lesbians.
They are introduced, Blanche, a lesbian.
Dorothy, another lesbian.
And you can see, if you didn't see the show, like, next to them, sitting two women who look stereotypically lesbians, like very lesbian.
And they're introduced as image consultants. And they're like, well, how come they're not lesbians? We don't believe in labels.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that pissed you off, and I completely missed this when I watched the whole show for the first time, is when, after Blanche is on the show, her regular boyfriends are turning her down when she asks them out. And there's a guy that comes to the door and says, now, it's such a shame that you're a lesbian because I would love to take you out for dinner and show you what you've been missing out on. Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just a lesbian because you haven't found the right man.
Yeah.
I hate that line.
The line probably every single lesbian heard. I don't think that people who are with, like, women, like women who are with women, never heard that. If you're a lesbian, you never heard that line, I envy you.
Yeah.
Because I've heard it so many times.
But the thing is, they make it into a joke, though, because Blanche is actually straight. Right?
Yes.
So this guy tells her, it's such a shame because I could show you a good time, kind of thing. And Blanche immediately gets horny.
Yeah.
And she makes him think that he converted her.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No. Yeah.
It is good to, like, it would be good to show this kind of thing so people who say those things would see how ridiculous they look.
Yeah.
But when the outcome is that it actually worked, it's not great. It's not.
No. Again, speaking of Blanche, she has a gay brother.
Yeah.
Clayton, who is actually not a bad character, is he?
No, I think he's good.
Yeah.
And I think they showed it quite good as well. Like, there wasn't anything to be angry about.
No.
When it comes to him, it actually was quite good.
It was mostly about Blanche's reaction to him coming out.
Yeah. Again, the one thing she said, you like to quote as well, like, jokingly.
Okay, so the first episode we see Clayton in, he's gone to visit Blanche to come out to her. And then the second time we see him, he's brought his fiancée because they're getting married at the time. And Blanche has only just got used to the idea of her brother being gay, but she just doesn't want him to show it off.
It's like most people.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm fine with Clayton being a homosexual. I just don't want him dating a man.
Yeah, like a lot of people say, I don't mind gay people, just don't show it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, what about heterosexuals sticking their tongues in, like, out on the street?
In the middle of the street.
Yeah, and, like, we have to see it.
Yeah.
I don't like public affection that much to just... ugh.
Yeah, I don't
to
know.
anyone.
Yeah. Can I finish the bit about Blanche, though? Well, there must be some homosexuals who date women.
And Dorothy goes, lesbians.
They're called lesbians. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best quotes.
I think a more positive way of seeing a lesbian on the show was Dorothy's friend Jean.
Yeah, so that what gave us another thing that Blanche might be bi.
Yeah.
Because she said,
I love this bit as well.
She got in love, she got in love with Rose. She caught feelings and because they spent time together. Rose, obviously, just for friendship. But, things happen. Everyone knows that.
Oh, yeah.
And then Blanche got offended why it's Rose and not her. And it's like...
I love it.
I know, it's a joke.
Only after a little bit of confusion where Blanche gets the word lesbian confused with Lebanese.
Again.
Why is that always a nice joke in a show to say?
I think that's how to show how ridiculous some people are.
Yeah.
Because some people actually don't know what lesbian is or have these illusions of what it is, and I think that's just to show how ridiculous some people are.
The other show where I've seen the word Lebanese being used as that joke, it was in an episode of Glee.
Yeah.
And do you remember when they were doing Born This Way and everyone had those T-shirts? So Santana had her T-shirt made, but she wasn't ready to come out yet. And so instead of the word lesbian on her shirt, she said Lebanese. I just thought that was a nice little hint to it.
Yeah.
That's cute. Okay, our next one on the list is Friends.
Oh, boy.
Now, apart from the obvious ones of Carol and Susan, we think Phoebe and Chandler might both be bisexual in a way.
Definitely.
There's always hints that there's always that running joke that Chandler's secretly gay.
Yeah, that's what I think, if it would be... I think we talked about this. If it would be, rebooted again, he would definitely be bi.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I think that would be cool. Cool to show that he would be still in love with Monica, and that would be nice.
Yeah.
But he would be...
But before him and Monica get together,
it would be nice
throw
to
a few
see.
men around.
Yeah, it would be nice
cool.
to see.
Nice coming out story for him as well.
And to change the fact that men can be a bit sensitive and
oh god.
Yeah, it would be nice to show that men can be sensitive.
Yeah. And I know that in any of the shows that we put down here, I don't think there are any bisexual men.
That's a problem with bisexual men.
Yeah.
And don't see them that much, especially on TV.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, yeah.
Yeah. So there is a video on YouTube. I'm not sure what the channel's called, but they take characters from TV shows and make little montages of them, and they just say bye bye bye, and it's just a little montage of all the little bisexual hints they've had on the show. And there is a video of Chandler.
Yeah, must be.
And all the hints are there.
Yeah,
it's just cute.
Phoebe had this episode with Monica's and Ross's cousin. Was it?
Yes.
Yeah,
so when the bits in slow motion with her hair.
Chandler got caught looking at her because she's sexy and hair flicking.
Yeah.
And then in the end of the episode, Phoebe has the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, say something. Ask her out. She's not your cousin.
Yeah. So that is just in your face bi.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a shame that of course at the time it was hard to do these characters, so but it's still something.
I've just realised something we haven't got written down actually, but do you remember the episode with Winona Ryder? It was one of Rachel's friends from college, and they got really drunk and started making out. The second Phoebe hears that story from Rachel, she immediately calls Rachel a lesbian.
Yeah.
From one time she got drunk in uni.
Yeah.
And then, she's been out with so many guys, and Ross as well, on and off, all the time. But that one encounter, she suddenly gets labelled gay.
Well, that's the thing with our society, that you only have this or that. It's only black or white.
Yeah.
No, people, there are colours in there.
Yeah. So, in that sense, Friends haven't been that good.
No.
And with Chandler's dad...
Yeah.
I don't even think the writers could tell whether they wanted to make Chandler's dad trans or a gay man in drag.
Yeah. I was confused about that too.
Yeah.
Because both are good.
I was thinking about this morning. You know when Chandler's dad goes to Monica and Chandler's wedding?
Yeah.
And Monica tells Rachel to just go and say hi to Chandler's dad, make him feel welcome. And she goes, oh, which one is Chandler's dad? And she goes, he is the man in the black dress. Yeah.
So one thing, he could be a man in a black dress, like a man.
Yeah.
But if they refer to his dad as if he transitioned, and she say that, it's very bad.
The way they portrayed him, when we finally see his dad on the show, I would say he is a man in drag.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think he is trans.
So that could be not that bad then.
Yeah. But it's just the jokes that the writers clearly haven't done research into it.
The thing with these shows is that they want to be popular and they want people to watch, and majority of people are straight audience.
Yeah.
And straight audience who would get mad if something good about LGBT would be said.
Yeah.
It was enough to have Susan and Carol on it.
Yeah.
I had to check if it's the right names. Yeah. It's bad enough they have that.
Yeah.
And
it was groundbreaking though.
It was,
at that time.
exactly. And
this was like 1995.
And they're lucky that it was there and people still watched it.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't in your face that much. It wasn't talked about it that much. It was more jokes and stuff. And Ross, oh my god. Oh my god. I just hate that guy.
First of all, Ross is just an all-round knob.
I hate Ross. Yeah, just...
I know.
And all, like, his character is so bad, and I don't have any sympathy for him.
Nope.
No, zero.
Nada.
Okay, moving on.
I watched the whole of Brooklyn Nine-Nine in lockdown 1.
I watched the whole Brooklyn Nine-Nine like 3 times.
I watched it for the first time in lockdown 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I started it.
Oh, wow.
And I got through it in about 2 months.
Oh,
just watching it in bed in the morning and night, not like binging it in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it got to about season 5, Rosa came out and she's bisexual.
Whoop, whoop.
It was so amazing.
I really like how she came out as well.
Oh, yes.
And like I really like her, like how bisexual she is. Like she's kind of stereotypical but kind of not.
Yeah.
Like the way she didn't say, here I am, now I'm bi. She was still like nervous to come out, even being this badass.
Yeah.
She was nervous about this and she like didn't tell anyone at first. And like, I think the way she came out was great. And I think her character itself is very good.
Yeah.
And she's a good actress.
Well, her actress is bisexual in real life as well.
Oh, okay.
Stephanie Beatrice.
Yeah, I like how her voice changed. I've seen her once in an interview. It's so bizarre. I was just like, oh my god, it's her voice. Yeah, she's great. I think she's great. And sometimes I think forgot the name. Jake.
Oh god, yeah.
Jake is bi vibes.
Bye.
Yeah, I think he might be bi.
I think there's a video on that channel for Jake as well.
Definitely. Because he doesn't even like, he's not hiding it. He looks like like we talked in our other episode, where bi people sometimes have more attraction to one gender, and they still attracted to others, but more rare.
Yeah,
I feel like he might be very attracted to women.
Yeah. But he has a little hint of attraction to men as well.
But if he sees a sexy man and he's like...
He doesn't hide it, does he?
Yeah, he doesn't hide it. Like, he's not ashamed of it. And he's not saying it out loud, I'm bi.
Yeah.
But everyone knows it and he knows it.
Yeah.
And it's...
I love that his relationship with Rosa is so good as well.
Yeah.
Because Rosa asked Jake to help her come out to her parents.
Yeah.
So when he was at the dinner table, her parents thought the worst, that they were together, and they were gonna announce that they're having an affair, like a little secret bit on the side away from Amy.
Yeah.
And Rosa's parents, when she actually did say she's bisexual, they said that they would have rather that she said that they were having an affair than to tell her that she was attracted to a woman. And that really got to me.
Yeah,
that really broke me. I cried so much in this episode.
Yeah, that is a problem with people.
Yeah.
And sometimes parents say worse.
Yeah.
And and then when they have a moment to actually think, they realize how stupid they are. But it takes time for them to realize.
Yeah. Well, it does take time because Rosa's dad came to apologise and Rosa's mum didn't.
Yeah.
It took Rosa's mum a long time to get used to it.
Yeah.
I like at the end of that episode, everyone comes over to Rosa's flat for game night.
Yeah.
And there's a little line by Holt that I like. It's like, every time someone shows the world who they really are, the world gets a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. Holt
and Kevin. Who we have loved, the guy who plays Kevin, we have loved in The Good Place.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's the best.
He's just funny.
I remember first time watching the Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and when he came, like, when we see him being gay, like, when it's revealed that he's gay, I was just like, whoa, that's so cool.
Yes.
Like, it's really nice to see, again, a person who's gay, but everything about him is not gay. He has his own personality and gay.
Yeah.
Not just he's gay and he's there.
I mean,
same with Rosa.
Kevin's the same as well.
Yeah.
Like, looking at Kevin, I wouldn't think that he was gay.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to show it off all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Rosa doesn't show it off, does she? She's just
that's what I liked about
this tough
her.
Thing, yeah.
That's what, like, it's hard to come out when you want to be tough. Because then you show sensitive side of yours and stuff.
Yeah.
But I like that she has her own character.
Yeah.
And she's bi. It's not like everything about her was she was someone in there, and then she's bi now and everyone's paying attention to her.
Yeah.
She was always good at everything she did. She had her own style of doing things as well.
Yeah.
And then she's bi on top of that, which is good.
It's just the cherry on top of
yeah, that's the thing.
Fantastic character.
That's what we need in representation. Not just a gay or bi or like LGBT character who's LGBT.
Yeah.
We need LGBT character who's a character.
Yeah.
Who has a character.
We don't want their gayness to be the only thing that makes them a character.
Yeah. Well, we brought LGBT person for you to be okay with our show. Like, don't complain you have an LGBT person. No, we need a person. Yeah. Not just walking someone walking with the label LGBT.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Steven Universe.
And I love there's no labels in there.
Yeah.
Like, no real labels. No one's labeling anyone, really.
Well, there's a reason for that. Because the gems aren't really women.
Yeah.
Their expression of gender is like a hologram around their gem. So they all express feminine qualities. And some gems show masculine qualities as well, like Jasper.
Yeah.
They still show female identity.
Yeah.
But this is only going off the thing where if we want to see a non-binary character or a trans character, often in a TV show, they're either a robot or an alien.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing, isn't it?
It is quite bad for now, but hopefully we'll get some more humans soon.
So, Steven Universe has been banned in a few countries because the LGBT plus themes on the show are so massive.
Yeah, it's like, I like the way they just open and there's no warning and there's no... Like, they shown us so normal and they just flow in so good. You don't need extra, like, sometimes we have these shows which shows, like, just straight characters all over. Yeah. And then the gay person comes in and then it's, like, all about them and it's like, oh, this is gay. Yeah. And then just moving on again on straight things. Yeah. But this show is just, like, the massive bubble of everything.
Yeah.
All the colors.
Well, the creator of the show, Rebecca Sugar, she wanted to include different orientations, different genders, because Rebecca Sugar is bisexual and she's non-binary.
Yeah.
You're looking at me like, are those her right pronouns?
I know.
She
I
likes
remember.
she pronouns and she likes they pronouns as well.
I remember I looked at you once already and you said that she still likes she. So.
Yeah.
Call her she.
So they deliberately did this on the show because they wanted a cartoon made for kids that didn't look down on these identities. And no show had ever done it to this extent before.
I don't know how kids can watch it. I'm not a crier. But damn, how many times we cried to the show.
I know.
The last episode was just like, just us sobbing. It's so deep. Even if you are an adult and you've never seen Steven Universe and you don't like cartoons.
Please, give it a go.
Give it a go, definitely.
Yeah. So they don't just cover sexuality or gender, they cover teenage mental health, especially in boys, which we never see on TV or in the media ever.
Yeah.
I very much advocate that you watch this show.
It is really, really good.
Yeah. So some key characters that stood out to me was Garnet. Garnet is literally made of a lesbian relationship.
Yeah.
Garnet is a fusion of two gems, a ruby and a sapphire. And the one time we actually see them separated, they immediately they hug each other. They make sure they're okay because they've been forcibly separated. Yeah. They make sure they're okay. They kiss, they dance, and they fuse again. And suddenly you see that they are Garnet.
Yeah.
And that's just beautiful.
It gives me goosebumps.
It's beautiful. Oh, and then we get the best song. Oh my God. Please stop me before I start.
Don't sing.
Okay, sorry. Rose Quartz. I think Rose Quartz might be bisexual.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I think about gems. I kind of feel that they don't have... they could all be just pan. I don't think they care about the genders and stuff because they don't have one as gems.
Yeah.
So I think that they just could be pan and they just feel connections instead of have...
Yeah. So one of the storylines is that pearls are servants to some other gems in the world. And the pearl that we get to know has had a very long crush on Rose Quartz. And she was pining for her for years, thousands of years, until suddenly they get to Earth and Rose Quartz meets Greg.
Yeah.
And they fall in love. They make Stephen. And in the beginning, when Stephen was just a baby, Pearl used to look at Stephen like, what did you do to yourself? How were you in this baby? What have you done? I can't even look at this baby anymore because you are a product of their love.
Yeah.
And she's just heartbroken.
It took like 3 seasons for them to get along. To
Pretty
go
much,
over it.
yeah. She couldn't even look at Greg properly,
No,
could she?
they were like, there's always tension.
Yeah. And Greg knew that.
Yeah.
I think you could see that as well, couldn't you?
Yeah. Okay.
Next one, Sadie. Sadie's pan.
Yeah. Sadie had a partner.
Non-binary partner.
Yeah.
Who goes against what I said earlier. Who is a human.
Oh, yeah.
A human non-binary partner.
Yeah.
Their name is Shep. And I know they're only seen in about 2 episodes, maybe?
Yeah, briefly, like, quickly.
Yeah, but at least they're there.
They're there, yeah.
Yeah, and I like that.
More than some other shows.
Yeah.
The Good Place.
The Good Place.
I've seen The Good Place in the lockdown.
Yeah.
That was my show.
We've just finished watching it together.
Yeah.
I watched it for the first time.
Yeah.
I cried a lot. It made me go through a lot of existential crises.
Yeah. But all in all, it's not a bad show. I think everyone should watch it.
No, it's a brilliant show.
And the ending is the most closure you can get of any show.
I think so too.
It's like, it just wraps up so nicely that you just, you don't even, like some other shows leave you hanging there and you're just like, what am I going to do now?
What happens now?
Yeah, and like this show you just finish and you like forget about it. It's like, just, you know it's good, but you don't you're not thinking about it like, what's going to happen now? And like, I think it's very good. And Eleanor, the main character,
Yeah.
one of the main characters, she's definitely bi. Unfortunately, it's not shown as much as we would like. It's not said. It's shown,
Yeah.
but it's not said.
It's like a joke.
She always says to Tahani that she's hot and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you can see that she, like, not just Tahani, like, she goes...
She kind of talks to herself in a little bit. I'm pretty sure I'm attracted to Tahani.
Yeah, it's
She
like...
says things like that in, like, passing, and that's it.
Yeah, and I think they should have made it a bit more clearer and maybe saying the word bisexual as well.
Yeah.
Because now it was just a joke.
There was a bit of a hint that Chidi might be bi.
Yeah.
Because when Michael was messing around with Chidi and his soulmates, they made him choose between 3 people, and one of them was a man.
Yeah.
But he very quickly turned him down.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. All we want is a bit of representation, people.
I guess that showed how open the Good Place is.
Yeah.
For any, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Janet. Janet is the best.
Not a girl.
Janet is the best. I love Janet.
Janet.
Janet, I told you, first time we saw Janet, I told you Janet is the best.
And Janet is the best.
Janet is the best, yeah.
So Janet is constantly saying, not a girl.
And not a robot.
She's not a robot. She is... She kind of calls herself AI.
She's AI. What we see is not a body. What we see is another hologram and, like, expression.
Yeah. But in the end, she does end up with Jason.
Yeah. Which is cute.
Yeah. They are a perfect couple.
Yeah,
because they're just...
And
like,
I like how Jason just accepts that she's not a girl.
Oh, even though he does still get that mistake a lot.
At first,
and that's
he did.
That's why not a girl is a running quote from Janet.
So, like, at first, he called her girl, and she said not a girl a few times.
Yeah.
And then he got that message that she's not a girl, and he started calling her not a girl.
Yeah.
He's like, I love you, not a girl. That kind of thing.
It's so cute.
Yeah, and one time when bad Janet was pretending to be good Janet,
Yeah.
and Jason called her a girl. She didn't say not a girl,
Yeah,
and that's how Jason knew.
knew.
Yeah, so
Very
that
clever.
is cool.
That actually went over my head
Oh,
until he said
Yeah.
that on the show. I was like, whoa, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
So cute. Oh, we're getting to, like, groundbreaking TV now.
that's one of the historical moments.
Definitely. I could say that, like, this was, like, the first 20 minutes of one of those episodes of Out.
Yeah,
Ellen.
I
Amazing.
I wouldn't be surprised if no one saw this TV show.
No,
I had to dig it out
Oh.
because it's nowhere to find. Like, I had to dig quite deep to find it.
Okay, so explain how you found it then.
So first, I was on YouTube and just found her videos and stuff, and then I found the People's Choice Award, I think, and there were a lot of people just talking about her, how amazing she is, what she's done and stuff.
Yeah.
And they showed the puppy episode, like snippets of puppy episode, and I was like, oh wow, I need to find it. And yeah, I'm not gonna say how and why and when and where, but yeah, I found it. And
Were you in this country?
No.
Oh.
That's how I came out to myself.
Oh.
That's how I found myself, basically. The whole TV show is not the best.
No.
I think it aged really badly.
A bit.
I think it aged terribly. But so from season 1 to season 3, Ellen was dating men,
Yeah.
but she was always very mask and stuff. Like, you could
Yeah.
see that she's not comfortable. Like,
I could see that she wasn't even comfortable having long hair.
yeah. So the first season of Ellen was her with long hair with 3 different friends, and it was just her being comedian,
Yeah.
just jokes and stuff. And then season 2 completely changed, So 2 and 3 was just her dating men and all that kind of stuff. And then season 4, I don't believe she did date anyone. She was just searching herself, and there were a lot of hints here and there. And that's why I made you watch the season 4. It wasn't the best, but a lot of episodes contained some little hints, which were funny and nice to see.
They were dropping hints because Ellen really wanted to come out from the beginning of that season. She didn't want a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because the show was on a channel in America owned by Disney, Ellen had to go to Disney and say, I want my character to come out because otherwise I can't act her straight anymore. I can't act her at all if she's not gay. And Disney didn't want to budge at first. They said, why don't we just give Ellen a puppy instead? If she doesn't want a boyfriend, let's get her a dog. Yeah. So they made the code word for her coming out episode. They called it the puppy episode.
For that reason.
Yeah, and it was just a little in-joke.
As a person who never really came out to anyone, like I've never said those words to anyone.
Yeah.
It made me really emotional as well. Like I'm not a crier, but that hits me every time. Just like, why is it so hard to say it? And like, yeah. But my favorite part is when she's with the therapist.
Oprah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she says, have you ever clicked with anyone? And she says, yes. And what
was his name?
His name.
Susan.
I think that was just like...
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's just so good.
Laura Dern is an amazing actress as well. She really... I mean, her character in the end did kind of lead Ellen on a little bit. Yeah. Because when Ellen finally did come out, and the reason Ellen came out was because she realised that she liked Laura Dern's character, Susan, and so Ellen kind of thought that she and Susan might start dating.
Yeah.
And then, car crash, Susan says she's got a girlfriend.
Like 8 years or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 8 years. Must be getting pretty serious. Next one.
Glee.
A lot of gay people.
So I've seen Glee for the first time in 2016, I think.
Okay.
Or 2017, yeah, something like that.
I watched it from the beginning when it first came on.
2017, yeah. So I never knew it existed.
Okay.
And one of a friend of a friend showed me it. And I was like, "Oh, that looks great," because I like musical stuffs.
Just a fair warning: if you haven't seen Glee, it does get shit at the further along you go through the show.
The thing is, so the first time I watched it till season 6 in the middle, and then I dropped it because I couldn't take it.
Yeah,
it's just.
I think I dropped it in the middle of season 5, and then I just watched the rest.
Yeah.
In lockdown, just for the hell of it.
So in lockdown, I watched it again in the first lockdown.
So the two main characters that will jump out at you for being gay are Kurt and Blaine. Kurt was the only out kid in his school for a long time. And around season 2, just when he meets Blaine and they start like flirting with each other before they actually start dating, Kurt is being bullied at school by a football player called David. Yeah. And when Kurt confronts David in the locker room, David kisses him in the moment of all that anger. And that was kind of Dave telling Kurt that I don't know who I am anymore. Yeah. And so we see a gay bullying storyline where David says, if you tell anyone, if you out me to anybody, I will kill you. Yeah. And that's why Kurt then has to transfer to a different school, Blaine's school, which is only bringing them closer together as a couple. And together they kind of help David get through his feelings. David then has to transfer to a different school. And at that school, he gets outed. and he gets cyberbullied a lot by boys and girls at the school.
Yeah.
They're just telling him on Facebook and Twitter, why don't you just go kill yourself already? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And David does attempt suicide. Luckily, he survives.
Yeah.
Right? And Kurt, being a good person who just wants to bury the hatchet, he does help David get through those feelings and says, there's a whole world out there waiting for you. You just have to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's really a happy ending for David at that point.
No,
He does come back towards the end, doesn't he? Because once Kurt and Blaine have broken up for a little bit, Blaine starts going out with Dave.
That was so cringe.
That is so creepy.
I was just like, what the fuck?
I know.
The show just went downhill very
It really
quickly.
did. Ryan Murphy knew that as well.
Let's not talk about when Blaine and Kurt were kidnapped by Sue
And locked in an elevator.
and then just not.
Locked in an elevator, and she wouldn't let them out until they got back together.
Yeah.
Because Sue Sylvester ships Klaine.
But let's not talk about that.
No. Let's talk about Santana instead.
Yes, Santana and
Brittany.
Brittany.
So Santana had her own coming out story, and we mentioned that earlier when she made that Lebanese t-shirt.
Yeah.
That Santana only made that t-shirt because Brittany got Lebanese and lesbian confused, and because at the time Santana was in love with Brittany, and it was a nice little gesture on her part. Santana is Latina. She wanted to come out to her grandmother, and her grandmother is very Catholic. So when Santana comes out to Abuelita, she gets thrown out the house. And she ends up living with Mercedes and her parents for a little bit. That kind of gets swept under, storyline-wise.
Yeah.
It's like the writers forgot that they were living together for 2 years.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Mercedes and Santana, they had a bit of a bitch fight at one point?
Yeah.
A couple
to
of
be
years
fair,
later?
I don't even remember that they lived together.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So they had a bit of a bitch fight a couple of years later. And it's like the writers suddenly remembered. They lived together.
Whoops.
Should we mention that? Yeah.
Yeah. What about Brittany?
So Brittany is bisexual.
Yeah.
And she gets a lot of backlash from her friends at the school because she went out with a boy and then she dated Santana, and then when they broke up, she dated another boy, and it's like she's jumping back and forth between gay and straight.
Yeah.
There is no explicit wording in the show that she is bisexual. So from me watching it, I was confused too. Because like I said to you, when I was growing up, being gay and straight was very black and white. There was no in between.
Again, unfortunately, it's still like that.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of you gay or you're lesbian, like you gay or you're straight. But there's a term for jumping between gay and straight is bisexual.
Yeah. Who should we talk about?
Who's Sheldon?
Sheldon is Coach Beast.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is how Ryan Murphy was trying to just grab onto any kind of storyline that he hadn't done yet.
Yeah.
Because Sheldon's transition plot story arc was very rushed.
Question, is the actor trans too?
I think she's just a lesbian.
Yeah,
So she's very stocky. I think she used to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it says she used to do shot put, and she's a 15-time world arm wrestling champion.
Don't cross her.
I know.
Yeah.
But she's the nicest person in interviews.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
looks very, like,
Yeah.
down to earth.
So here's a picture of
Yeah.
Shannon and Sheldon. I felt like the story was very rushed. I didn't like
Yeah,
it.
the story was very rushed, and like they showed her as different.
Him,
No, at first before transition.
you should still use him pronouns.
The actress is a woman, okay?
Okay.
But that's the thing. The woman at first he was a woman. Let's say that.
Oh.
Okay, he was assigned AFAB, right?
Yes.
AFAB.
Okay.
I'm trying to say that Shannon
Yeah.
was a woman who never dated anyone, who never got attention from anyone, who never kissed anyone, and was like, because she was, what? Strong, masculine, yeah, exactly.
And then the one time Shannon actually did move in with someone, it turned into an abusive relationship. He used to hit her.
Yeah. And then transitioning.
Yeah.
I feel like it wasn't, like, it was thought in the last second. It's like,
Yeah, it was.
let's make Shannon trans. Let's make Shannon Sheldon. Like, you don't... Yeah, people realize too late sometimes. Like, people know that something's different with them, and they realize later in life there's nothing wrong with that. But the way they write this character was very, like, confusing.
It was like Shannon didn't do anything from seasons 4 and 5. She was just there.
Yeah.
And then season 6 shows up. We've still got all these episodes we need to flesh out.
Yeah.
Let's just make a cheap storyline.
Yeah. I think that too. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. So Sheldon's transition is helped by Unique.
Yeah.
Do you remember Unique?
Yeah, I remember Unique.
So Unique is a stage name, I believe. I believe this person just likes to do drag.
Yeah.
I don't think Unique is trans.
I don't think...
I think she just prefers to dress feminine.
Yeah, I think she never said that she is trans, and she never actually went to transition.
Yeah,
she was just dressing up, especially on stage.
She used to prefer to go into the girls' toilets.
It's like, I would say it could be a step to being non-binary, because because she looked very when without makeup and not on stage.
Yeah,
she was very like androgynous.
I think it just slowly became her identity.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes, even without transitioning, you still can be trans.
Yeah.
I think because it's not fully written.
Yeah.
Again, because they're scared of what people will think and what people will say, they still have to blur the line between actually saying out loud, this person is bi, this person is trans.
Yeah.
Like, they did it with Sheldon, and it was... very bad, like poorly written.
Yeah, it was.
But when the characters actually could be like saying out loud, like, I think they just were confused of what they do. Like the writers, not the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, the writers were really confused, and I don't think they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. So this is just part 1 of this topic.
Yeah.
We will look at a whole other topics and then have a bit of a debate. So, people, listen out for part 2.
Yep. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Non-Binary Show.
You can follow and message us on Instagram at non.bi.neri or over on Facebook at facebook.com/non.bi.neri.show.
We're posting a lot more podcast updates and stuff from our personal lives, but most of the time you'll see queer memes.
You can also send us a voice message on Anchor at anchor.fm/non-binary. That's all one word, no dots.
Send us a voice message and you might be in our next episode.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.